Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at another classic issue of Uncanny X-Men from the Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr. era. One of my favorite eras. Can't wait to show it to you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, so 188. 8 is my favorite number. My birthday is January 8th and it's always been my number. I like how it's infinity, so my hippy-dippy numerology side is already, like, loving this. It's from 1984. You know, 1985 was possibly, arguably, like, the best year in comics, but the whole 80s were great, as were the whole 70s, 60s, possibly the 50s and 40s, too. It starts to get dodgy in the 90s, although 90s comics have a horrible reputation, but I think it's just because of the implosion of the market. But they're like getting a lot of love now and a second look and a new reverence and actually going up in value. So that's a good thing, because are we not sick of seeing like the quarter bin $90? I mean, just sadly, they deserve more love. Anyway, I love this cover. This is so good. Like, I have to say, and like revisiting some of these because, as me and my brother often like to point out, and I hate to dog him, but I was one of those people who was like horrified when John Romita Jr. took over the X-Men. I thought his characters were so blocky and ugly, and just like following Paul Smith, one of my all-time favorite X-Men artists, who the corner box is still intact well over a year after he has left the building. It just did not work for me initially. I eventually grew to love it and definitely have more reverence and nostalgia for it, you know, today. But I always love this cover. I mean, first of all, the pink is amazing, and the blue and the yellow, like, it just totally pops. And the color holds that they're using here, I just love it. I love that reverse effect. I guess I just like love seeing art so much. Like, I love seeing it altered in different forms, and it almost has like a pop art kind of effect. So it's a very compelling cover. Plus, it's Rachel Summers owning the X-Men and totally having them in like, I don't know, this head psychic attack or something. Oh, and I wish the pages didn't like look so dark. Like, I hate when that happens. Like, that is one thing that we definitely are blessed with these days, is like great printing with great paper, and that really shows the art as it was meant to be seen. You know, I think that like that's why it's always great to see like those IDW artist editions or the new reprints or even digital. Like my friend Philip always shares with me my digital updates after I do my video, so I can compare and contrast and see how much better the art should and does look initially. So Chris Claremont writer, John Romita Jr. and Dan Green artists. I like that combination together. I like Dan Green as an inker. I think he is definitely like one of the best inkers in the biz as far as capturing what the penciler, capturing the essence of the original pencils. I think he just does it amazingly. Glennis Ween, colorist. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. All is well with the world. Let's not forget Ann Nesenti and Jam Shooter, because all those names are very important to such a great era run on the X-Men. You know, John Romita Jr. Is such a great storyteller. I mean, oh my God, this is like Chris Claremont's so amazing. The crap he comes up with is so crazy. Like, so Forge has this bionic leg or whatever, and Storm, like, this is hot on the heels of Storm losing her powers to the gun that was invented by Forge, that was invented to strip Rogue of her powers, which is such a great story in itself, like, especially since it was created by a mutant to strip another mutant of its powers, even if those powers are deemed dangerous, and, like, where's the moral? You know, it's like, you know, if it hasn't been told, then that is a good moral question. Well, yeah, of course it's been told, like a cure for mutants. Like, it's like a cure for, I don't know, like something that doesn't need a cure. Sometimes, I guess, if, you know, you have a debilitating mutant. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is I love that she shoots off his artificial leg and then basically says, if I wanted to shoot you between the eyes, I would do it. And he's like, she means that. And then he like, this is so great too, because if anyone could do it, Forge could just like bounce down the steps on one leg. And then we got this Indian doing like this ceremonial thing with this truly epic. I mean, this is kind of the greatness of John Romita Jr., and I think it would really shine on his run on Daredevil with Ann Nocenti and Al Williamson. Like, especially this, like, the Mephisto stuff was just crazy and off the chain and so good. And that is reminding me of, like, a precursor to that. I think, and that truly is the fun and, like, gift of John Romita Jr.'s penciling is his storytelling. Like, you just immediately know what's going on. You don't have to read anything. I mean, it just, there's never any confusion. It's just, like, crystal clear, his intention. And I was talking about the fashion, because, I mean, it is what it is. It's the 80s and whatever, but I remember loving this costume for Amanda Sefton at the time, and hell yeah, I still love it to this day. So there. And I kind of like, I just love Mohawk Storm running around. I mean, few things are better. Ilyana. I do have to say, like, and I just said this in a John Byrne video that I did, and this is, like, why these guys are, like, classic artists and legends, is because they implement all the proper tools of comic book artistry, you know, the storytelling, the backgrounds, the gestures, the facial expressions, the acting, the action, the camera angles, the close-ups, just like the pure visual effects. You know, it's like being the ultimate director / cinematographer, storyboarder. I mean, it's an amazingly powerful. I don't. Maybe that's why comic books are fringe and always have been. Is like, people don't realize the potential for their power. I mean, they're just super powerful form of medium. Like, I know that sounds geeky, but I'm a freaking geek. Okay. I love this. I love these tender moments between Ilyana and Peter. I mean, that's terrific. I love that. This here, I mean, this is so great. Like, you talk about great storytelling. And John Romita Jr. Never skimps, like, on the backgrounds and the details. But he knows when to utilize, like, something that was super effective. Like, this is almost Frank Miller level, like the black and white contrast going on here, like his spotting of blacks and his use of negative space. Just even the choice to shorten this panel here, which I think was a leftover from the Frank Miller Wolverine miniseries aesthetic. I'm giving credit for creating that, potentially, or popularizing it anyway. I remember really being impressed with, like, how this page, I really like this page. Of course, I love sharks, so this is, like, such a great panel in itself. That would actually be, like, a really cool poster or Liechtenstein style knockoff. Magneto washing up on board. It's always interesting to see Magneto, like, defeated. And then it's like you pull a fish out of the river, and it's frickin' Magneto. Imagine that. Saturday morning cartoons, rest in peace. Where the hell have you been? I could not imagine growing up. I've just figured out what's wrong with the world. That's why this sign of the end, the apocalypse, there are no longer Saturday morning cartoons. What the hell, Earth? What the hell, humans? Have you no soul? Love this. Always love this page. I love tender moments between Aurora and Nightcrawler. You know, and this is like the joy of, like, just knowing the mythos, or you know, X-Men is the ultimate soap opera in a way. During Claremont's run, you know, he nourished and nurtured these relationships and built these storylines and characters and nuances that he would continue to revisit, you know, for years to come. I mean, you know, years later, he would have Aurora and Nightcrawler, I think, go out on a date during Ellen Davis's run with him, and just, I don't know, it's just like warms my heart. And once again, what a great, oh my God, what a great panel here. I have just such a new, I hope my brother's watching this because I am hoping to win him over as I win myself over. Like, just sometimes he just really nails it. I don't know, that's just like a really beautiful panel with the silhouette and the moon in the background. And just like, good on you, JR. I checked out his new Spider-Man. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know, maybe the story was distracting for me, but it just seemed a little crazy. And Aunt May, can they decide how she's supposed to look? She looks so different every time we see her. Even drawn by John Romita Jr., oddly enough. Love this. I love when artists get, like, artsy. Like, I love how the banister is actually acting as the panel border there. And I love the psychic scream. I mean, maybe that looks a little, like, rushed, but it's still so effective at the same time. I mean, whatever, you know, I just feel like his instincts as a comic book artist are so good. I mean, like, I can't imagine the description, you know, Rachel charges the X-Men with psychic, you know, rays flying out of her head and attacking. I mean, whatever, like, amazing, right? This is a little Grand Design-esque, almost in real time, as it recounts the events in the concurrent issue of New Mutants 18. Wow, that is like, I'd be like, oh, you want me to redraw like Bill Sienkiewicz's like most amazing debut in the New Mutants? Okay, here it is. Decent job. I'll give you that. Here's a little big in Jersey, but I think that's fitting for John Romita Jr. I'm sorry, but Rogue's gas station attendant outfit was shoulder pads and I don't know, what are the genie pants? Like, what the hell is going on here? Sometimes the fashion works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it holds up. I don't know, whatever. Some great panels going on here. But once again, I'm feeling the deadline crunch. Interesting. No backgrounds as we get to the end of the book. But there's a lot of heart and emotion in this page, and that's a great shot there. I love that. Aurora's outfit. Hilarious. Oh, way to bring it home with the fishing dock and all this detail. All right, I'll give you that. Anyway, another fun issue. Oh my God, we get to end with the bonus of John Byrne art at the house ad for the subscription. Way back in the beginning, before we started having everything sent to our house. Like, how stupid is that? Like, why are comic books not thriving right now? Subscriptions need to return, especially at these discounted rates. I mean, we have Amazon and whatever delivering everything else, but we're not doing it with comics. Comics industry continues to shoot itself in the foot. Anyway, let's save comics. Let's popularize them, even if we have to do it by revisiting it and remembering our love for old comics, like I'm so wont to do. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe, hit like, share my content, and I'll bring you some more later.